Headlines most affecting Abbotsford this week. A Libertarian candidate steps up for the provincial election. Meanwhile, another BC United candidate will run as an independent. Abbotsford's Chamber of Commerce holding 4 all-candidate meetings. And the latest inductees to the UFE Cascades Hall of Fame have been announced. We'll have that in sports. Coming up, our guest is BC Libertarian leader Alex Joehl. All right, Abbotsford, let's get started. And BC Libertarians leader Alex Joehl is the candidate for Langley Abbotsford. This is the October 19th vote. Now, from his media release, this is his 3rd time running for the BC Libertarian Party, having been on the ballot in Langley East in 2017 and 2020. And, quote, proud to run in the newly formed Langley Abbotsford riding in 24. He has run federally with the Libertarian Party of Canada for 3 times, and recently in 2019 in Langley Aldergrove. He's been a municipal candidate 3 times, for mayor, for school trustee, and for council. And we're going to have a conversation with Mr. Joehl, and that's coming up in just a few minutes' time. The former Langley Abbotsford BC United candidate Karen Long is going to run as an independent. From her social media, since the collapse of the BC United on August the 28th, I have had many people in Langley Abbotsford reach out and urge me to run as an independent. There are many voters right across BC who feel that on many issues, the BC NDP is too far left, the Conservatives are too far right, and our politics have become too polarized. And this week, former BC United candidates were notified that if they are going to run as an independent, they're not allowed to use any signs, office space, headshots, or any other services that were paid for by BC United. But the candidates can buy the signs back from the party. The official writ for the provincial election is going to be dropped on Saturday, the official start for the campaign. Now, while some election ads have already started, the bulk of these will begin over the weekend. All the details and the rules for the campaign can be found on the Elections BC website. Abbotsford's Chamber of Commerce hosting 4 all-candidate meetings prior to the election. Now, questions do have to be submitted in advance. There will be no questions taken from the floor. You can submit questions through the Chamber website, or if you can, in person, but that's through a link called Slido. The BC Wildlife Federation and the Lower Mainland Fish and Game Clubs are co-hosting town hall meetings in anticipation of the provincial election. MLAs and candidates for office are invited to meet with voters to discuss the state of wildlife management in BC. Now, for Abbotsford, it will be at the Ridgedale Rod and Gun Club on Harris Road on Saturday, September the 28th. The province announcing a new program of involuntary care for those with severe addictions, mental illness, and brain injury. This includes youth and also secure treatment within BC corrections. So it's something that the BC Conservatives have touted as part of their provincial election campaign. The first correctional centre will be at Surrey Pre-Trial, the first secure housing and care facility. That'll be on the grounds of Alouette Correctional Centre in Maple Ridge. That's for women. All the facilities will provide involuntary care under the BC Mental Health Act for people certified as requiring care, but so far nothing's been announced for the rest of the Fraser Valley. More families will benefit from increased access to culturally based childcare, with more than 200 new childcare spaces opening or on the way. This is for Métis Nation BC. They have received almost $14 million in funding since 2022 through the BC Ministry of Education and Childcare to create 5 new care facilities that care to the central needs of Métis families. One of the centers will be in Mission at the Fraser Valley Métis Association lands. October is Purple Light Nights. There are various ceremonies taking place in the valley, shining the purple light on domestic violence. Violence Against Women and Relationships Committee working to ensure collaborative community and justice response to those impacted by violence in a relationship. On October the 5th, the Abbotsford Mission Committee will celebrate their launch of the campaign. You can join them on the Abbotsford Farm and Country Market at 10 a.m. That'll kick off the start of the Abbotsford campaign. Canadian Academy Award qualifying Abbotsford Film Festival returns for its 5th edition, October the 4th and the 5th, in partnership with the Reach Gallery, and this is a celebration of the arts for the community. The 2-day event showcasing a diverse section of short films, documentaries, 48-hour films, and live music. Tickets are available through their social media. Registration for the 2024 Canadian Walk for Veterans is open. The walk takes place across the country, and in Abbotsford, that will be this Saturday at Mill Lake. I have the privilege of being your MC, and you can still register online. Coming up, it's Hall of Fame time at UFV, and the sports is coming up. This week continues as we talk to the candidates leading up to the October 19th provincial vote. The Libertarian Party is now announcing their candidates. Alex Joehl is the Libertarian president or director?
I'm the leader.
You're the party leader. Now, you've done this before at various elections, so you know the terrain. First off, 60-second business card, some of your background.
Yeah, definitely. I have been in politics for some time and only says that because on a Google search it says I'm a Canadian politician. So that's quite interesting. I am married with a son who's 14. We live in Langley in the Murrayville area. And I've run federally 3 times, provincially twice in the Langley East riding. And now with the redraw of the boundaries, I'm in the Langley Abbotsford riding. So I'm excited to be part of this brand new riding. And as we elect the next MLA, and I'm just... Every time I have a chance, I try and get onto the ballot because of the very first time I had the question back in 2006, it said, who am I going to vote for? And I had nobody I could vote for. I said, I have to put myself on there. So I got on there, I ran, I voted for myself, and it was one of the best feelings. Next time I ran another riding outside where I live, so I couldn't even vote for myself. But at least my parents got to vote for me.
Hey, Mom and Dad, yeah.
But so that's basically my political history.
With a new riding, the BC United, of course, have stepped away. We have the NDP, we have the Conservatives. I'm not sure if there's a Green candidate in your riding, but why Libertarian? What makes you stand out? Why are you so different? Why should you get that check mark?
Definitely. So we have no illusion that we're going to actually form government. We're not going to have a full slate of candidates. What we do know is that there are many people that feel disillusioned with the system and they don't believe that their vote counts. They don't feel heard. So what we as libertarians, we want to be that name on a ballot. So somebody gets into the ballot box and they see Libertarian and they know exactly what that stands for. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. We're a principled party. Whereas we've already seen with somebody who has the brand name Conservative, they've already kind of wavered from what that generally means. So realistically, why Libertarian, why vote for us? Is because A, it's a principled vote. B, because it sends a message to the establishment exactly that you are dissatisfied with the status quo, but also you took the time to go vote, which is more than can be said for so many people with voter apathy at the state that it's at. So I don't want to have it so that anybody just doesn't show up, doesn't care. So I'm happy to be that voice. And why Libertarian? We believe in lower taxes, more choice, and real freedom across the board. And like I said, it's consistency is the key.
When you're talking about your party platform, you've got this highway expansion right in the middle of your riding. Yeah. You've got other things that are happening, from the homeless situation to the opioid crisis. What are some of the things that you really want to key on? Say you do become MLA and you have a voice where you can stand up and say, Mr. Speaker or Madam Speaker, A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Absolutely. The number one issue in this province is healthcare, because it's already taking up basically $1 of every $2 in public spending, but also because it's underserving almost everybody. So what separates the Libertarians from the other parties is we fully acknowledge that we cannot fix this system without completely gutting it from within inside. We need to legalize getting the best care possible for everyone. Right now, it's only federal employees, RCMP, workers' comp issues, and prisoners have access to private health care. Okay. Why not all British Columbians? We want to make sure everyone has the access to the same care that they can afford and they can acquire.
And in your writing, you've got Abbotsford Regional and Langley Memorial. Yeah. The other thing, too, and it just came up, the proposal for involuntary access, or involuntary, I don't know what's the best way of putting it, restrictions for mental health, but as well as addiction. Your take on this?
Right. So I don't always see eye to eye with all of the people within our party. Even that's the whole joke about libertarians is put 4 libertarians in a room and you'll get 5 different opinions.
Right.
But where I stand, and this is consistent with our values, is we do want to see the end of prohibition, because the war on drugs has helped no one. It's benefited nobody. And right now we're at a situation where people are dying of toxic drugs on our streets. So first and foremost is we need to peel back all the government intervention that has led to the toxicity and all these overdose deaths. Second, and then this is where the libertarians get involved, is we don't really need government-funded inhalation sites and whatnot and safe injection sites. We do need to have an opportunity for people to own their own bodies. Don't get me wrong, but we're at a point right now where if they are sick, they are still afraid to go get help. Or I can't really express it in any other way, that the sickest in our communities are still feeling like they can't reach out for help.
Yeah. Now, social media, you're all over the place. Then your website, Facebook, and I would assume on the website you have the full party platform.
Right. Yeah. So libertarian.bc.ca. You can go and you can click on the 2024 platform that's live. All of our candidates aren't listed yet. We're still trying to pull a few more out of the woodwork, but yeah, they're definitely. And then we are on Facebook. We are on Instagram, we're on Twitter, and
TikTok yet? Or
no, not TikTok yet. And definitely we're trying to reach out more and more. We had a really big push in 2017. We had our most candidates ever, 30 candidates. 2020 we had 25 candidates. Really good turnout for during the lockdowns, right? And mandates, so to speak.
Yeah.
But we've seen now a few people. Now that our backs aren't against the walls, they're not as desperate. So political interest isn't as high. So we're really trying to get everyone initiated, engage as many people as possible, and be an option on the ballot for everybody that still knows what a libertarian is.
Alex Joehl, the leader of the BC Libertarians, running in Langley, Abbotsford. Thanks again for coming in.
Right, thanks again.
You're watching This Week. abbyTV Sports, UFE announcing that women's basketball player Lauren Alonso and golfer Aaron Pauls are the 2024 inductees to the Cascades Hall of Fame. Their induction becomes official January the 20th. Alonso played 4 seasons for the Cascades, helping her team capture 4 consecutive BCCAA gold medals and a national silver in the 2000-2001 season, a national bronze in 03-04. Pauls joined the Cascade men's golf program as a walk-on back in 2009, and he was named Rookie of the Year. In his playing career at UFE from 2009 to 2015, he went on to be named a 4-time team MVP, earning a CCAA All-Canadian nod in 2013, named as Academic All-Canadian the same year, and in 2012-2013 was named team captain, and then led the Cascades to their first ever CCAA national title, taking home an individual silver medal in the process. Kiana Langston scoring 2 goals in 2 games, too late to salvage a result to help out the UFE women's soccer Cascades. They fell 4-1 to the UVic Vikes back on Saturday afternoon at Rotary Stadium, so that loss drops the Cascades to 1-3 on the season. The Vikes are 3-1-1. So the Cascades, they head to the road again this week to take on the UNBC Timberwolves. That's Friday. And the UBC Thunderbirds on Sunday. Those games will be streamed live on Canada West TV. Now for the men, for the second time in this weekend, the UF men's soccer team, they scored before the 5-minute mark. Didn't help. The Lethbridge Pronghorns found a pair of goals in response, walked away with a 2-1 win on Sunday at Rotary Stadium. The loss sees the Cascades drop to 4-2-2 on the year. Meanwhile, the Pronghorns pick up 4 points on the weekend with results against UBC and UFE, so they're 2-2-3. So the Cascades men's, they head on the road again with visits to MacEwan University on Saturday and the University of Calgary on Sunday. And like the women, those games will be streamed live on Canada West TV. After last Sunday's game at Starlight Stadium in Langford, the Rams heading home to the mainland with a W on their first of back-to-back road games, and the Rams dumped the West Shore Rebels 23-10. So the Rams are now off to Chilliwack, where they're going to face the Valley Huskers at Exhibition Field. That's Saturday night, 7 o'clock. Now the Rams are 6-2. They're second behind the Okanagan Sun. The Huskers have a game in hand. They've now played 8 games. The Rams have only played 7. Coming up, Cari with the weather.
This week, our weather is going to be a huge mix of sun, cloud. Tuesday, there's going to be some sunshine, maybe up to like 23, so keep your fingers crossed for that. Although this weekend, I'm going to be at the Stinking Rose Garlic Festival, and I will be bringing an umbrella for Sunday, and maybe a sweater to just keep me warm on Saturday, but it's going to be a great time. Here's a fun fact. The fall equinox doesn't refer to the whole day. It's actually just the moment in time that the sun crosses the equator. Back to you, Don.
Thanks, Cari, and thank you for watching. If you have a local news story you'd like us to report on, you can always send us a note to news@chilltv.ca. Thanks for watching. Have yourself a great weekend. I'm Don Lehn.